Hello, everybody. So today we're talking about the case of Miya Marcano. So I first heard about this case from Kendall Ray here on YouTube, and I decided that I wanted to talk about it. So all the links I have for research will be down below, like always. There will also be a link to a case suggestions form if you have anything in particular you'd like me to talk about. You can submit information there for this podcast or for Wicked, my new podcast that dropped recently called Wicked. If you'd like to go check that out, there's a link to that down below as well. But yeah, like I said, today we're talking about the case of Miya Marcano. If you hear like a loud, like blowing, whirring sound, I have my fan on. It's on the lowest possible setting, but it might still be a little bit loud, so I apologize. But with that being said, I want to go ahead and get into this. So, when I was doing my research for this case, the timelines were confusing me, so I have some of it it's taken from an article where it has like the times and the dates set up as things happened. So that's how I'm kind of going to go over some of it, just to kind of keep it from not being as confusing as it was to me. So yeah. So Miya, who was a 19-year-old student at Valencia College in Florida, would be the center of a horrific case in 2021. On September 24th, 2021, Miya was kidnapped from her unit in Arden Villas in Orlando, Florida, where she and her killer Armando, I believe it's pronounced Cabello, worked. On the day she was kidnapped, she was supposed to be boarding a flight, but when she didn't, her family became worried. So there's a quick timeline that I'm going to go over right now, just because it's a little hard, like I said, for me to gather information because the information was scattered. So on September 24th, at 2:14 p.m., the deadbolt to her apartment opened by an on-call maintenance key fob known to be in Armando's possession. At 4:34 p.m., the deadbolt opened again, the same way. At 5:06 p.m., Miya uses her key fob to enter. At 5:52 p.m., Armando's vehicle leaves the complex. At 7:01 p.m., Armando places a fake maintenance call. At 7:11 p.m., Armando contacts the apartment's office staff and asks to be let in the gate. Police say that this was an attempt to establish his alibi. At 7:16 p.m., someone uses her key fob to swipe the exterior lock to her apartment, but they do not enter. At 7:38 p.m., Armando leaves the complex in a vehicle. At 8:20 p.m. to 8:40 p.m., Armando's phone is at or near Timber Scan Apartments, where he will eventually leave Miya's body. At 9:23 p.m., Miya's mom calls OCSO to report her concerns about her daughter. And at 9:23 p.m., an OCSO deputy is dispatched to the apartments and arrives at 10:02 p.m. to check on her. And then on September 25th at 1:36 a.m., Miya is entered as a missing person. At 6:54 a.m., a deputy meets with the family at the complex, and at 8:47, Castleberry Police Department responds to Armando's apartment after a call from her family saying he is seen with a glove backpack and pick blanket. So, to note, Armando would be confronted by her family. In a video of that, he says he wasn't a stalker, as it's believed that he had expressed a romantic interest in Miya, which she did not return. Not long after this, days actually, Armando would be found dead by suicide in his apartment by hanging. There would be searches for Miya, but 8 days after she goes missing, on October 2nd, a body is found in a wooded area near the Timber Scan Apartments, which is the area where he kind of pinged off of, where he would leave her body. She was mostly skeletonized at this point, found with a robe, her red purse, a wallet, jeans, and her necklace with her name on it. Black duct tape was wrapped around her head, plus her neck area, as well as her wrist and ankles. In a lengthy 135-page report, some information was released. There was a photo that showed a small bookcase propped up against her bedroom doorknob, which, quote, appeared to be placed there to prevent anyone from entering the room from the outside, end quote. And that quote is taken from the report. Jewelry was on the floor, luggage was kind of laid around, and her teddy bear was there that she always took with her. A pillow was next to her bed with a small patch of a dried red substance that appeared to be blood. That was also found. Surveillance video of Armando driving a golf cart around the complex near her unit. That coincided with times that the key fob showed it was used on her front door. Police say that there was, um, they say that she was likely killed in her apartment and dumped in that wooded area near the Timber Scan apartments. It was determined that she died of homicide by undetermined means, but assault is indicated. Police believe that Armando used a key fob to sneak into her apartment and was likely waiting for her when she came home from work. Her family filed a lawsuit suing the OCSO for failing to properly train officers how to handle a case like Mia's, and also blamed two deputies of violating her civil rights. So the lawsuits claim that the deputy, Samir Polino, didn't take the family to apartment security when they asked about fingerprint evidence. Um, and they also say that they weren't taken seriously when they provided details about their concerns regarding Armando. And Polino got a 150-hour unpaid suspension, which is really nothing. Captain Kenneth Dale received a 10-hour unpaid suspension, which the family didn't like. That is basically one shift that you just didn't work. And they said that it was willful neglect. They also said that the OCSO was indifferent about Mia's disappearance. They also filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Andervilla's um, parent company for the security failings. Her family brought forth Mia's Law, which is a proposed bipartisan legislation in Florida that would be in place to ensure an elevated an elevated expectancy of residential security and personal safety on residential properties in the state of Florida. Also, stricter governance, such as I cannot say this word, the implementation of higher levels of background checks and limitations on the use of master keys to ensure that the tenants are protected. So basically, you can't just use a master key fob to get into any apartment like Armando did. If you would like to help, you can go to the website that I will have linked down below to sign the petition and share the I Support Mia's Law social media post and contact the Judiciary Committee and members via phone and email and let them know that you support passing the law. There is a letter template available as well. If you would like to send an email, I have done both of these things already, and I really hope that you guys will as well, because this is absolutely ridiculous. There's no reason that this should have happened. Um, Supposedly this man expressed romantic interest in Mia. She was not interested in him, which is her right. And in response to this, he basically killed her. And he did so by taking use of the master key that he would have at his workplace and invading her personal space and harming her. And that should never been an option. he should not have had that kind of use. So I really hope you guys will make some phone calls, send some emails, um, even just share the social media post. And I'm sure that the family would really love that. But thank you so much for listening to the case about Miya Marcano. Um, it's just really sad that this happened to her. She is such a beautiful girl, and she just seems so full of life. And this piece of shit was so cowardly. He committed suicide because he didn't want to face what he had done. And I just think that's gross because, and now the family will never really have justice in this case. And that just breaks my heart. But thank you so much for listening to Mia's story. Hopefully, something will happen with Mia's law and I can report back to you guys. Like I said, if you would like to help, all that stuff will be linked down below. And yeah, I will see you guys very soon. Bye, guys.